Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Syed Rafiq, and I have the pleasure of working with Rafi at British Transport Police. Thank you, Mrs. Ahmed Fakra, your family, your friends, and this community of worship, to His Holiness for welcoming me and all my colleagues into your place of worship. I am very honoured and humbled that I can say words about Rafiq on behalf of the British Transport Police, on behalf of his colleagues, friends and officers. So, what did Rafiq do every day when he left for work, you might ask? Rafiq worked in my technology department, and he had completed 7.5 years of loyal service. Rafiq's role as a database administrator meant he kept a number of the key force systems updated and maintained. So what does that mean? In simple terms, it allowed the force to protect all of our communities by ensuring that those critical systems were working all of the time. This would allow officers to be in the right place at the right time, and critical information was available to them. Rafiq was a respected man. He was a man of many words, a man that portrayed a respectful, measured and calming approach. He had a gentle nature who embodied the very heart of diversity in our workplace. He was a dedicated believer and a respected elder, and someone who portrayed the attributes of a really good person. In this 24/7 age of technology, conflict, segregation, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Rafiq raised himself above all of this, and he always found time to reflect and pray at work. He embodied the qualities people can only aspire to in terms of his patience, pace of work, his technical expertise, and his dedication to his work and his family and this community. Rafiq was renowned for his kind of heart and his charitable attitude. He would always put himself ahead of others by completing charitable walks and activities for worthy causes such as Macmillan Cancer Support, Humanity First, and the Alzheimer's Society. Rafiq's sense of community within our department was endearing. He would always be involved in the office events, bringing along delicious food, so I thank you, Bakwa, for that. Into the office for all of his colleagues, for Eid and for other occasions. He did not just celebrate his own religion, but embraced those of other cultures. Rafiq liked to be involved in everything and would challenge any wrongdoing. He was incredibly supportive to his colleagues. In their times of trouble, he was like a father, an uncle, and a brother. Rafiq made the world and BTP a better place. his well-dressed style, perfectly groomed, goatee beard, cheeky, side-on smile reminds me of his chat and banter. And I can assure you all, he had a great sense of humour, and he kept us all very, very, very amused. I have some messages I would like to read out from my colleagues. It was always a real pleasure to work with Rafiq. I enjoyed our banter. He was an excellent ambassador for technology and provided an excellent service. He will be sadly missed. Mike Tagg, Detective Constable. I'm absolutely gutted to hear such bad news. Rafiq was a lovely guy, and on behalf of the CAB, we say our best wishes to his family and those who worked with him every day. He was always very supportive, and his assistance with ABM Pegasus was invaluable. Danny Raymond, CAB manager. I really, really liked Rafiq. We had so many conversations, and we used to have such a giggle. I was so devastated when I heard. Much sympathy for all you technology guys and his family, who worked alongside him. Can't be easy to see him go. Sarah McFall, armed policing. I'm very sorry to hear the sad news. Rafiq was also a member of our communications and our employee engagement group. Naomi Wesley, internal communications manager of the force. And finally, I'm absolutely at a loss as to what to say. I am devastated, as I am sure you and all the rest of the team are. I have never known a kinder, more patient person, and I couldn't have done half of what I do in my job in the last 3 years without him. Karen McKenzie, one of our application administrators. All I can say is we miss him. On behalf and listening to his holiness, if we all smile a bit better, smiling is better for God than complaining. And all I can say is Rafiq will definitely be in a good place. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity firstly to thank all of Rafiq's colleagues who are here to pay respect to this very humble, very gentle, and a very proud individual who was dedicated to his community, and he was dedicated to the service of human beings. I knew him from the 1960s, when he was a very young man, and there are photographs at the moment going around where he's standing right next to me when he was probably 9 or 10 years of age. And since then, he has continued to work with me in various capacities throughout his life. There are many, many stories, but the one that I wanted to share with you today is that when I was Sadhguru India, Rafiq used to work with me on various projects. And once I called him and I said to him that you have the quality to be one of my naib sadhus, one of my deputies. But I would like you to take a different role, and that is to look after our youth of our community. And I felt at that stage that was a very important role, that we needed somebody with dedication who would work with you and bring them up as good human beings. And he immediately realized what I required of him and accepted that. And then for many years, he dedicatedly undertook that position. And I would say that a lot of the youngsters who are here with us today, they will be able to pay testimony to this, that the work that he did made them into the individuals that they are today. And I'm very grateful to him. I remember him day after day. He would come and he would organize events for you. Every day he used to have sports, and he was always there himself to make sure that everyone was taken care of. And then various other projects that he did for our youth. It's a very long story, and I cannot cover that in this very short time. But I would like to just say thank you, Rafiq. You were a great friend, and we will miss you greatly. And you will be remembered by all of those people whose lives you touched. And they will remember you with fondness because you gave so much of yourself to the community. And in his last few years, he was the president of one of our communities. And there, as a father figure, he served the community. And we've heard so many good comments when you speak to people from his community, how, as a father figure, he gave of himself. And he will always be remembered with fondness and love. And may Allah rest his soul in peace, and may Allah give solace to his family. It is a great loss to all of us. May Allah be with them always. Thank you very much. Once again, I'd like to thank all his colleagues who are here. We normally end with silent prayer. I would request all of you to join me in silent prayer, please. Burial arrangements, unfortunately, we could not organize them over the weekend because the cemetery could not accommodate. So, inshallah, Rafiq will be buried in Brooklyn Cemetery on Monday morning, 11:30. So, most of you are welcome to join us.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم दूसरा जनाजा है यहाँ के मुकर्रम सैयद रफ़ीक अहमद सफ़ीर साहब का.
The second funeral is of respected Syed Rafiq Safir Ahmad Sahib, who was from here and was the Sadr, i.e. the President of the Surbiton Jamaat. He passed away on 28th February 2017 at the age of 61. Surely to Allah we belong, and to Him shall we return. His father, Dr. Safiruddin Sahib, was the first principal of the Ahmadiyya Secondary School in Kumasi, Ghana. Syed Rafiq Safir Sahib was born in London and was engaged in serving the Jamaat from childhood. He was enabled to serve as Secretary at Atfalul Ahmadiyya, Qaid Khudam al Ahmadiyya, and on a central level in Majlis Ansarullah as Qaid Seht Jismani and Qaid Amumi. Before his demise, he was serving as the Sadr, i.e. President of the Surbiton Jamaat. He had a deep connection of devotion with Khilafat. He was regular in prayer, would offer tahajjud prayer, and was very friendly and sociable. He had a very gentle nature and was extremely pious and sincere. The deceased was a Musi and leaves behind his wife, 2 daughters and 2 sons. His wife writes, he had a very soft-hearted and gentle disposition. He would draw his children's attention towards prayers with a great deal of love and concern, and he would lead congregational prayers. From the time of our marriage until the end, he remained engrossed in serving the Jamaat. It was his habit to resolve people's problems and help them financially. He was a very righteous person of simple nature and was highly moral. The acting president of his Jamaat writes, one of his good practices was that after the Isha prayer, he would always ask children questions about every Friday sermon and would give them an award for the correct answer. This instilled an interest in the children to listen to the Friday sermons, and he was always very concerned for his Jamaat work. May Allah the Almighty protect the deceased in His mercy and grant him forgiveness. And may Allah elevate the status of all of them. As I said, after the prayers I will lead the funeral prayer.
दूसरा जनाजा है यहाँ के मुकर्रम सैयद रफ़ीक अहमद सफ़ीर साहब का, जो सदर जमात सरबटन थे। 28 फरवरी 2017 को 61 साल की उम्र में वफ़ात पा गए। इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन। आपके वालिद डॉक्टर सफ़ीरुद्दीन साहब कुमासी घाना में अहमदिया सेकेंडरी स्कूल के पहले प्रिंसिपल थे। सैयद रफ़ीक सफ़ीर साहब की पैदाइश लंदन में हुई और बचपन से ही जमाती कामों में सरगर्म रहे। अतफ़ाल खुदाम कायद, सेक्रेटरी अतफ़ाल खुदाम कायद और अंसारुल्लाह की मजलिस में मरकज़ी तौर पर कायद से जिस्मानी के अलावा कायद अमूमी की हैसियत से भी खिदमत की तौफ़ीक मिली। वफ़ात से कबल सरबटन जमात के सदर के तौर पर खिदमत बजा ला रहे थे। खिलाफत के साथ गहरा मोहब्बत का ताल्लुक़ था। नमाज़ों के पाबंद, तहज्जुद गुज़ार, दुआ गो, मिलनिसार, धीमी तबीयत के मालिक, बहुत नेक और मुखलिस इंसान थे। मरहूम मूसी थे। उस्मान गान में वालदा के अलावा अहलिया, 2 बेटियां और 2 बेटे यादगार छोड़े हैं। आपकी अहलिया लिखती हैं कि इंतहाई नरम और धीमे मिजाज के इंसान थे। बच्चों को बहुत प्यार और लगन से नमाज़ों की तरफ तवज्जो दिलाते और नमाज बाजमात पढ़ाते। शादी से लेकर आखिरी वक्त तक जमाती कामों में मसरूफ़ रहे। लोगों के मसाइल हल करना और माली इमदाद करना भी इनकी आदत में शामिल था। बहुत नेक, सादा और तबा और बाअखलाक इंसान थे। कायम कम सदर जमात इनके हल्के लिखते हैं कि आपकी एक अच्छी आदत ये थी कि हर खुतबा जुमे के बारे में इशा की नमाज के बाद बच्चों से सवाल पूछते और सही जवाब पर इनाम भी देते। इससे बच्चों में खुतबा सुनने का शौक़ पैदा होता था। जमाती कामों की बहुत फिक्र रहती थी। ये 2 जनाजे हाज़िर हैं जो मैंने भी ऐलान किए। 2 जनाजे गायब हैं। इनमें से अल्लाह ताला मरहूम को ग़रीक़ रहमत करे, मग़फ़िरत और रहम का सलूक फरमाए, इन सब से इनके दर्जात बुलंद करे। नमाज़ों के बाद जैसा कि मैंने कहा इनकी नमाज जनाजा होगी। الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر